Hello, Mr. Maynard, and welcome back to the world's greatest project controls podcast. I believe ranked number one this week among butchers aged 25 to 32 is what I heard. So we're really hitting our demographic there. This is, what are we calling this? Two mics, one schedule, where we talk everything project controls. I think I mentioned it a little bit last time, but I'll reiterate it. Mike Maynard never knows the topic that we're going to be talking about, which always makes it enjoyable for me. So, Mike, here's what I want to pick your brain on. It's hot on everyone's lists, dashboards. Yeah, what do you think about dashboards? Is there a project controls dashboard that, without naming any specifics, that really will kind of hit home, or is there a gap in the dashboard space for project control?
So I think there is still a gap for the whole industry wide, like kind of in that space, because people don't utilize that tool for what its real purpose is. It's a great indicator tool, but it's also something that can really kind of tell you a trend that you don't necessarily see without having that view and being able to trend data in one place and kind of say, okay, well, how is the health going? Where are we seeing hiccups? And then you can take that and translate all that data into later projects and go, historically, this is how we can overlay. We always have this type of weather in the winter, so we can calculate this many bad days for that. And you can kind of use all of those dashboard tools going forward in your lessons learned. And I think that's where people don't get the value.
So I want to walk back a little bit. You made a comment called, you said you can check the schedule health. And what does that mean to you in a dashboard sense?
Yeah. So, well, when you see like major changes in duration or deliverable dates are moving week over week over week, and they're just consistently building, regardless of how much float's built in there, you're compressing work somewhere.
Hmm.
And that means you're compressing an area, a space, or a team. And that's where you kind of end up getting in trouble that's unforeseen. Um,
I agreed completely. And you know what? You threw me a curveball because I didn't think you were going to say that. I actually thought you were going to go with the strict DCMA 14 in terms of schedule health.
I was that's my usual go-to is the DCMA 14 because that's industry-wide standard. However, over my years, I think what I've seen is that's really a great tool for indications. But if you use it as your only guidance,
Hmm.
maybe missing the beneficial, approach of, okay, well, this doesn't necessarily look good in a schedule, but in the real world, this actually works.
Sure. Yeah,
So
I mean there's definitely ways to kind of massage or work around the DCMA 14 with dashboards. I've definitely received and inherited schedules where they have, a great DCMA 14 score, 90% DCMA 14 score when you upload it into someone's dashboard. But when you really dig into the details, you're going, whoa, this schedule doesn't really make sense, or what this story is, or the schedule is trying to tell us does not align with reality. But they've checked the box, and it allows you to go past and get and kind of push through your project controls department, and you get the good score and you get the thumbs up. So I guess for us, candidly, we do have a dashboard that we use. Our dashboard leverages lots of different data, right? We can take in P6, Excel, PMIS systems, and we typically make a bespoke dashboard for all of our projects. We have a couple widgets that are typical, but I think you nailed it. Our focus, when we're putting these together, is yeah, the DC 14, we absolutely track that. And I think, for us, that's a reliability tool, right? Has someone put in the effort to say, do you have all your predecessors and successors tied in? But I think the bigger part is what you nailed on is the trending. How is the project looking at time over time? And this is a conversation I have with everyone when I talk about this is what can we really control in these jobs, right? It's really only two things. It's your subcontractors and where those subcontractors are working, right? Even procurement's out of our control. We get submittals in and they make it delayed in fabrication. You can't help that, right? So
customs, tariffs,
yeah, so I think what we've done a really good job of is, indicating, hey, how are your subcontractors performing and are they working in the correct areas? And what I think, do really well is kind of help direct traffic. We'll go to a superintendent and say, if space is available based off this data, you should probably go hang some duct in there.
Yeah. Like, why is this room empty? Like, get some bodies in there, start doing something. Even if
Agreed.
it's little things, like, those little things add up over time. If you have space to get work done, get it done. I mean, and that also helps with layout areas later on, because now you're not trying to get in and do those little things because the whole space is clear, and you're not moving things around, trying to get around things. You're going somewhere else where it's available. I
Sure.
mean, it,
Agree completely. And speaking
yeah.
of getting work done, it's time for both of us to get back to work. So it was nice catching up with you, bud. We'll talk later.
All right. Have a great weekend.
See ya.